Now we get to do our transitions on top of our horse. Now, again, remember, the most important thing is we have that really pretty picture in our mind of where we want the horse's body to be. His nose, his ears, his head, the elevation of his head. We don't want his head too far out to the side. We want his hips involved, etc. So what we're trying to do is reproduce this really pretty picture that we have in our mind down underneath us right here with our horse. That's the most important thing. So now, as we ask our horse to go forward, what we'd want to do, rather than just starting our horse forward, what we would actually want to do is say, okay, where do I want his head? Where do I want his nose? Well, I want his head. Let's say I take Charlie's head and I want his head at this elevation right here. His nose, I would like his nose in. I don't want him, when he starts to walk forward, to stick his nose out. I want his nose nice and soft and on the bridle. I would like him, if I know I'm going to go to the left here, I would like him to bring his hips over here to the left as well. So then I'm get him all ready and then ask him to go forward. And so as I ask him to go forward, I want to make sure that none of those body parts change. Now that would be the same as if I was going from a walk to a trot. I would want his nose to stay in, his head elevation not to change. I would like his hips to stay involved and go forward with him. So for an example, if he's going to go to the right here, and we're going to make a change and go to the left, I would want his nose to stay in, his head to stay at the same elevation, and his hips to actually come over with his nose and follow his nose. So as his nose went to the right, I would like his hips to come to the right. So nice and easy, no matter what the speed is that we're going or what change we're going to make. So if I'm at a slow trot and I want to pick up to a faster trot, I want everything to stay exactly the same. It's just like through any transition that the upper part of the horse's body does not change at all. So first we just practice this, just getting him correctly, being able to go from left to right, from a trot down to a walk, and from a walk back up into a trot, from slow trot to a medium trot, and then to an extended trot. And then ask the horse to be able to go into the canter, and again, without anything changing from the upper part of the horse's body. So it should look like the horse's body stays exactly the same, the upper part of his body stays the same. Then after I can do those transitions correctly and perfectly, then the next step is actually put a spot. Now as a spot, let's say the cones are the spot that I want to make the transition. Whatever transition it is, it might be from a walk, into a trot. That might be the transition that I'm looking for. But what I'm going to do is, as I start to get closer, and I'm going to guess that if I start giving the cue, let's say 15 feet from the cones, that the horse is going to go into the trot at the cones. So I start giving him the cue here, but he doesn't do it. Now I'm starting to get nervous. And so what would be natural for me to do is start giving the cue more aggressively the closer I get to the cones, and for sure after I pass the cones. But I do not want to do that. If I do that, then what's going to happen is the place is going to take priority over correctness. Because as I give the cue more aggressively, then what's going to happen is he's going to get aggravated with how he makes that transition. So what I want to do is I get closer to that object, I want to give the cue exactly the same. Now maybe he passes the object, or my spot here, he passes it by 20 feet before he actually goes into the trot. And then from that, the next time I'm just going to give my cue 20 feet earlier. So, but pretty soon what will happen is I'll be able to give the cue and have the horse pick up make the transition exactly where I want him to make it. And so as we practice that, then what will happen is I will start to be able to give the cue sooner, and he will pick it up sooner. Or I'll be able to give the cue later, and he will pick it up sooner. So at that point, I have actually taught my horse how to make a change. I want him to make it nice and easy and very, very comfortable in the change. The next thing, make lots of changes, lots of transitions. Don't go out and canter your horse and canter and canter and canter and canter and canter. Take and canter your horse a little bit and then bring him, speed him up or slow him down. Turn right, turn left, etc. So that will make the transitions and practicing the transitions much, much easier for you, and have them do it correctly. Okay? Hope that helps.